cold winter's day. During downtime, Alexandra works on a tablet while Jimmy lays at her feet. Alexandra and Jimmy walk down a snowy residential street with their trainer. Alex wears a big smile as the two look straight at the camera as they take a break at the training school. Congratulations, Jimmy's Razors, Megan Banfield, and Paul and Cindy Swift. Lyle and his black lab, Frisco, have just entered the sidewalk from a busy intersection. The new team has just come into Alumni Hall through the revolving door. Lyle rests on the floor with his head against the couch, and Frisco uses his shoulder as a pillow. Lyle reaches into the treat bag as the two stand at the edge of the sidewalk before the crosswalk. Lyle and Frisco look ahead to the camera as they sit in Alumni Hall. Congratulations, Frisco's Razors, Alfred and Diana Tregler, and Dan and Amy Muller. Cecil and his black lab, Flynn, walk towards us on a very snowy urban sidewalk. Here, Cecil and Flynn walk down a residential street with snow-laden trees behind them. At the end of the dormitory hallway, we see the new team is preparing to go through a maze of obstacles. On a cold winter's day, Cecil reaches into the treat bag as they've just stepped up onto the curb. Cecil and Flynn look up and pose for the camera as they sit in Alumni Hall. Congratulations, Flynn's Razors, Miss Cora Ciarcia and Kathy Ann Burns. Austin and his black lab, Newton, step up onto a brick curb on a sunny winter day. Newton puts his face up to Austin's as they settle into the Guiding Eyes van. Bundled up for the cold, Austin, Newton, and their trainer walk down a sidewalk with snow on either side. They successfully maneuver around a shopping cart in the narrow hallways of the training school. In full harness, Newton looks up at the camera as he sits at the training school. Congratulations, Newton's Razor, Willow Parker. Mark and his yellow lab, Josie, walk down the pavement with brick edging, snow, and bushes to their right side. At the edge of a brick curb, Mark leans forward and Josie turns her head up towards him. Here we see Mark and Josie walking towards us on a very snowy residential street. Here we see the new team coming towards us walking down a sidewalk full of obstacles. Here Josie sits at Mark's feet and looks straight at the camera. Congratulations to Josie's Razors, Carla Coelho and Patricia Noel. Usman is guided down the hallway by his yellow lab, Gadget. Usman, Gadget, and their trainer walk down a residential street surrounded by snowbanks. Leaning forward, Usman gently holds Gadget as they sit on the couch in White Plains. While in a down position, Gadget snuggles against Usman's leg. Next, we see Usman and Gadget confidently crossing the street. Congratulations, Gadget's Razors, Daryl M. Gordon with Walter Lustberg. Cicely and her yellow lab, Jules, walk down a residential street with snowbanks to their left. Here, Jules looks up towards Cicely as they approach a narrow path from the street. On a sunny day, Cicely and Jules are crossing the wooden bridge at the training school. With tall city buildings behind them, we see Cicely and Jules crossing the street. On a warmer sunny day, Cicely leans forward from an outdoor bench and gives Jules a big hug. Congratulations, Jules Razor, Marcy Gray. Here we see Laura Ann and Patrol, her black lab, walking through a white painted crosswalk. Here we see a shopping cart in the foreground as Laura Ann and Patrol maneuver down the dormitory hallway. After the storm, Laura Ann and Patrol are walking down a narrow, shoveled pathway with snow on either side. In the dormitory hallway, Patrol leads Laura Ann around an orange cone. From their right side, we see them sitting in Alumni Hall, Patrol looking up at Laura Ann. Congratulations, Patrol's Razor, Connie J. Terry. Georgie and her black and tan lab Loki walk towards us on a residential street past many snowbanks and mailboxes. In Alumni Hall, Loki sits very patiently as Georgie puts on his protective booties. Here we see the new team walking towards us in the middle of a white painted crosswalk. During more indoor training, Loki sits and looks up as they learn about an overhead obstacle. On a cold, overcast day, we see Georgie and Loki walking towards us on a wide sidewalk. Congratulations, Loki's Razor, Amy Sander. With beautiful blue skies behind them, Magdalena and her black lab, Inez, walk towards us on a wide sidewalk. Avoiding a trash can and a hydrant, we see Magdalena and Inez walking down the sidewalk. Inez waits patiently as Magdalena shares a lighthearted moment with her trainer Susan. The new team maneuvers down the aisles of a large warehouse store. Inez looks up towards the camera as they both sit on a park bench. Congratulations to the Razor, Christina Struby. Next we have Dave, who's sitting in a park-like area with his yellow lab, Kagan. Dave leans into the car and holds his face lovingly against Kagan's. In an outdoor room, Kagan lies patiently on the floor during grooming. From their right side, we see Dave and Kagan walking on the pavement on a bright sunny day. We see sun and shadows on Kagan as he poses outdoors in harness. Congratulations, Kagan's Razor, Zachary Richards. This is Isabella and her yellow lab, O'Hara, maneuvering past obstacles in the dormitory hallway. Isabella and O'Hara make their way down a snowy residential street. As they look sweetly towards each other, O'Hara drapes her paw over Isabella's forearm. From the opposite side of the street, we see Isabella and O'Hara entering a crosswalk. O'Hara leads Isabella through the hallways of the Yorktown Training School. Congratulations, O'Hara's Razors, the Straight family. This is Sheila and her yellow lab, Pumpkin, walking through the mall. On a cold, sunny day, Sheila and Pumpkin walk down a residential sidewalk with snow on either side. Sheila wears a big smile as the two have their heads together as they pose for the camera. Sheila sits on the floor and leans forward with her hands on Pumpkin's paws. Both bundled up for the cold, we see Sheila and Pumpkin walking down the sidewalk towards us. Congratulations, Pumpkin's Razors, Joseph Gruber and Jackie Blundell. First we see Tina and her black lab, Ronnie, passing through a white painted crosswalk. Ronnie leads Tina down a narrow sidewalk with iron fencing on one side and a street sign on the other. Here the new team successfully maneuvers between a railing and a large lamppost. Here we see Tina and Ronnie posing near the top of the escalator. Tina smiles at the camera as she and Ronnie stop to pose in the elevator. Congratulations, Ronnie's Razors, Lee and Eric Nagel. Here the class sits in a row with their dogs sitting in front of them and the trainers standing behind them. We thank this month's sponsors for their generosity. Congratulations to Jules and Josie and the March 2018 graduating class. From Bob Rollman and Cindy Sullivan Fosters for proud dad, G.E.B. Inget. Congratulations to all the graduates. We wish you all the best in your new life with your four-legged partners. from the Cornell Puppy Raising Club, Central New York region. Jimmy was special named by Barbara Schwartz in memory of Jim Gantz. Kagan was special named in memory of Valerie Kagan. We gratefully acknowledge the Fain family for their support of our online streaming capabilities. We finish with the blue and white. Guiding eyes to the climb.
Good afternoon, everyone. At this time, we're going to introduce our graduates that are on grounds with us today. First, Mandela Mancini with guide dog Inez. Lyle Cole with guide dog Frisco. Austin Diepenhorst with guide dog Newton. Georgie Sidner with guide dog Loki. Laura Ann Nino and guide dog Patrol. Cecil Cox with guide dog Flynn. Mark Gross and guide dog Josie. Alexandra Brown and guide dog Jimmy. Isabella Scott and guide dog O'Hara. Cicely Morales and guide dog Jules. Usman Karoma and guide dog Gadget. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to the graduation celebration for March 2018. My name is Catherine Pawalo, and I have had the pleasure of being the class supervisor for this amazing group of people sitting before you. In addition to these 11 teams, we have 3 additional teams who graduated this month through our home training and special needs program. I would like to introduce them to you, and they could not be here with us today. David Prozinski and Guide Dog Kagan from Port Richley, Florida. Sheila Strong and Guide Dog Pumpkin from Waterville, Maine. And Tina Witherspoon and Guide Dog Ronnie from Arlington, Virginia. Let's give all of our graduates a warm round of applause. And also a special warm welcome to an alumni member that was able to join us today, Mary Reynolds, a 2012 graduate. Welcome, Mary. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to our president and CEO, Thomas Panic.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Guiding Eyes for the Blind. I think my first official act on Monday morning as president is going to be to purchase some more chairs. It's good to see a full house on such a beautiful day. What do you think? Is winter over? Thank goodness. My goodness. I was out of power for 8 days, I got to tell you, and it was exciting for the first 2. Welcome students. Welcome returning graduate Mary. Welcome everyone online watching us on YouTube. This is a really exciting day for everyone involved with Guiding Eyes for the Blind because it's a chance for us all to come together to celebrate a moment in time where we provide guide dogs to people with vision loss, which is our mission. And I'd like to start by saying there are many different reasons why people choose to have a guide dog. And students and graduates now, you are returning, some of you, and some of you for the very first time. I'm sure you have your own set of reasons on your personal journey. But I've come up with a list of about 5 that I can come up with. And I'm going to ask for audience participation in this, which is going to be a lot of fun, right? What do you think is a reason to get a guide dog for a person who's blind? Anybody, shout out. Independence. That is my number 1 reason. You got it, independence. Because with a guide dog, a person with vision loss is more independent. We're able to have the freedom to travel on our own when we want, in a way that we desire, and that's with independence. So that's absolutely what I would consider the number 1 reason. What's another reason to have a guide dog? Mobility also comes along with independence, absolutely. To be able to conquer some of the towns that you've gone through, graduates, whether it's just on Colonial Street right here outside, what we call Country Door, going out that door and conquering, shorelining along a road, or being able to conquer Manhattan. That's mobility. That truly is mobility. And to be able to rely on your dog and trust your dog to be mobile is one of the most important reasons to have a guide dog. What else? Confidence, yes. A guide dog provides a person who's blind with an opportunity to have a social icebreaker. I was confident enough with my first guide dog, a yellow lab named Paulson, that I walked right into the library and met my wife, Melissa, who's here today. 20 years later, I've got 3 boys and a girl to show for that. And we're very proud of it, to have the confidence to go forth in life. I think that's an excellent reason. What else? Friendship. Companionship and love fall under friendship. And that's actually one of the other most important reasons to have a dog. You have someone by your side all the time to keep you company, to keep your feet warm when the power loses, and, to generally be there as a friend. And I think that with that friendship comes responsibility, right? Getting up early. There's no such thing as daylight savings time with a dog. They've been getting you up an hour early all the time, right? But yeah, absolutely. I think friendship is an incredible reason. And it's for all of those reasons that we here at Guiding Eyes for the Blind provide guide dogs to people with vision loss. But we could not do that without you, our volunteers. For every staff member, we have 10 volunteers, which is an incredible ratio, but it proves that what we're doing here is worthwhile, and we want to share that with others. And I'm going to ask all of you to help share that the reasons to have a guide dog with others. If you see somebody walking with a cane, ask them and tell them that Guiding Eyes is there should they desire to make that decision in their life to get a guide dog. And for all of the graduates that are here today, you came to us 3 weeks ago and you sat similarly here in the room, and I said, I'm going to see you in 3 weeks and you're going to be up there and we're going to be graduating with your guide dogs, and here you are. So it's a wonderful, wonderful moment for all of us. There are so many people to thank. I'd like to call out one particular group that I'd like to thank today, and that is the Cornell Club. If you are with the Cornell Club, please stand up. 12 people, I believe we have today, right? 20 dogs raised by this club. It's a wonderful partnership. We have veterinarians from Cornell, we have volunteers from Cornell, and dedicated volunteers. So thank you very, very much for that. I'd like to do something a little bit unusual next, and I'd like to make an official announcement. I don't get to do this a lot, but as president, I guess I get to sometimes, right? An official announcement of a program that we're going to be launching. It's a very exciting program, and it really is to spread the word about what we talked about earlier, which was the reasons to have a guide dog. And we want the community to participate in activity. Spring is here, right? And what we'd like to do is we would like everyone to spread the word about getting out there with your dog, whether it's a pet dog, a dog that you're raising, or a dog of somebody you know. We're encouraging everybody to join something we're officially calling the Wagathon. Now, for those of you who have not heard about the Wagathon, i.e. tail wagging, this is an opportunity for you to get out there and do, in the month of May, 1 mile a day. And over the course of the month of May, if you do 1 mile a day with your dog, you will be officially part of the Wagathon, which will get you beyond a marathon in the month of May, 26.2 miles. And you can track your progress online. You can register your friends, your family, your colleagues from work online. And it really is a way to get the word out about Guiding Eyes for the Blind. So I'd like to play a video and a little bit of a sneak peek into this preview trailer video that we have in advance of our official Wagathon launch. So Greg, if you could cue that up for us, that would be great.
You love your dog, and today you and your four-footed friend can take your first step on a new adventure, the Guiding Eyes for the Blind Wagathon, a new challenge for the month of May. Simply walk or jog 26.2 miles over the course of 1 month. That's less than a mile a day, whenever and wherever you want to go. And it's for a great cause, because when you rally your friends and family to donate to your Wagathon, you help train amazing dogs who will help people with vision loss enjoy all of life's adventures. You can get started with 3 easy steps. 1. Use this page to register yourself or start your team and set your fundraising goal. 2. Start fundraising by sending emails, social posts, or by hosting a fundraising event. And 3. Throughout May, post your Wagathon selfies of you and your dog completing the challenge. But wait, there's more. Raise more money, earn more prizes for you and your pup. That's it. So as the weather warms up, step out with your pup and get some exercise. Lace up those shoes, clip on that leash, and work on those summer bodies together. We'll see you in the Wagathon.
Thank you. Very exciting. Thank you for putting that together. So whether you raise $1 or $1,000, I encourage you all to participate in getting the word out about the reasons to have a guide dog. With that, I'd like to introduce our Vice President of Training Programs, Kathy Zubricki. Kathy has reached her 30-year mark with Guiding Eyes for the Blind this past month, and has an incredible amount of experience that she brings to the program. She oversees all of our training, our kennel operations, as well as our veterinary operations. With that, a warm round of applause for Kathy.
Thank you, Tom, and welcome everyone to this very happy occasion. What we at Guiding Eyes are able to achieve is because others have helped, many others. And I'd like to ask a very special group of people to please stand up, and that's our puppy raisers. Don't be shy. Thank you. You are extraordinary people, and you've given a wonderful gift. And I'd like to take a moment to share with you some thoughts from our graduates on what having a Guiding Eyes guide dog means to them. My dog opens a means of communication and making friends. He is a catalyst for engaging people. My dog empowers me to do things, and I'm amazed at how far things have opened for me socially. The confidence I feel, the love I experience, I have joy in my life every day. Opens, catalyst, empowers, amazement, confidence, love, and joy. Those are powerful words and powerful actions. And this is the impact that you have made in another person's life, and it's truly breathtaking. We are so grateful to each and every one of you, and we could not continue to do this work without you, so thank you so much. It's always a delight for me to have the opportunity to acknowledge and thank another group of people whose efforts have made this day possible. But before I do, I want to share with you one of our core values, and that is being in service to others. So Kat, Michelle, Susan, Stephanie, Catherine, Kim, and Nick, you have truly demonstrated what it means to be in service, not only to your students and their dogs, but to each other. Thank you for everything you've done to make this class so successful. And a special congratulations to Catherine, because she recently joined the training staff and she's just completing her very first class. Congratulations, Catherine. You've got a fan club, and I look forward to seeing you at many more graduations. And now to the graduates. Well, I can only imagine when you arrived here about 3 weeks ago, the emotions you may have been feeling: anticipation, excitement, maybe some anxiety, maybe some doubt. At some point, you may have even wondered, what have I gotten myself into? And how is this going to work? And yet, as Tom mentioned, just a few days ago, you were conquering what we call in guide work the Mount Everest of guide dog training, and that's Manhattan. And that's a wonderful accomplishment. So congratulations. This is your moment. Savor it. Be proud of how far you've come, and know that with faith in yourself and your guide dog, there's no limit to how far you can go. On behalf of the entire Guiding Eyes staff here, Patterson, and all our remote staff, congratulations, and you are wished every continued success. And thank you, everyone, for being here and for your help as we go along this journey, whether it's through the gift of your time, your financial support, or just sharing our stories with others. We can't do this work without you, so thank you very much. And now I'd like to invite Kat back to the podium. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Kathy. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce today's first graduate speaker, Usman Karuma.
Greetings to all of you. My name is Usman Karoma. I received my first guide dog from Guiding Eyes in February of 2013. The class of March would first like to say thank you to all of our puppy raisers. Without your help, there will be no guide dogs to train. Second, we would like to express our gratitude to our instructors. Without you, there will be no guide dogs to guide us on sidewalks with no cracks and around obstacles. Also, without you, we wouldn't know how to work with guide dogs. So thank you for your time and lessons. Including me, there are 2 others in this class who had previously received a guide dog from Guiding Eyes. Laura and Cecil, and in combined, our guide served us faithfully for over 10 years. Some of us retire our dogs and they are now our pet dogs. Some of us didn't even have a chance to say goodbye due to an event we didn't expect. When we were matched with our first guide dog, our independence and confidence went to a level we never expected. We went to places that we never dreamed of and had wonderful conversations with people who were afraid to approach us in the past. As months and years passed, we thought to ourselves that we would never have another guide dog again, because there was no other dog who would give us so much freedom. When the time came to retire our dog, or when the event that we didn't expect had happened, we told ourselves that we will never get another guide dog. After weeks and months passed, and in addition to the sadness and pain, hesitation came into place when we decided to apply for another guide dog. Hesitation because we didn't truly know if we're ready for another guide and if we'll pass the home interview. When we were told we'll be getting another guide, fear came into place. Fear because we were afraid that we would be replacing our past dogs. We arrived at the school on Monday and fear arrived with us. On Tuesday, when we walked with our instructors, fear along with nervousness and excitement walked with us. On Wednesday, the time came to be matched with our new guide. Fear was in the front seat and excitement was in the back. However, as soon as we touched our new guide, excuse me one second. However, as soon as we touched our new guide, we pushed fear all the way to the back seat and allowed excitement and love to sit in the driver's seat. After minutes passed with our new guide, we came to an understanding that we would not be replacing our past guides. We would not be taking love from them and giving it to our present guides. We will not be living the lessons that they taught us. No, we will instead be adding and expanding. Our present guides will be adding and expanding to the lessons that our past guides taught us. Adding and expanding the love and joy we have for our present and past guides. Adding and expanding unconditional love, loyalty, friendship, responsibility. Our present guides will be adding patience, contentment, and so much more. Thank you, Guiding Eyes, for adding us to the family. Our past guides, Luke, Gavi, Gayla, thank you for serving us faithfully. Our present guides, Flynn. Gadget. Stay. Stay. There you go. Done. Patrol. Thank you for always being ready, willing, excited to guide us on the sidewalks with no cracks. Grace and peace to you all. Thank you.
Our second graduate speaker will be Lyle Cole.
All right, let's see if we can get Frisco to take a nap. All right. I don't know if I can follow that very well, but I'll try. I am representing the first timers, as Usman was representing the retrains. And I just have a quick story to tell all of you about kind of how I got here. I'll need you to play along a little bit at one point, and that's coming up in just a minute. I'll give you a heads up on it. But it was a random, boring Thursday in October of 2016. And I was on my way home from work, and I had a little itch on my right eye. And as I reached up to scratch that eye, I realized that I wasn't able to see a whole lot out of my left eye. Doctors would later tell me that's something called a scotoma, which is just a fancy word for a blind spot. And after arriving home, I just kind of tried to stay calm and relax and convince myself that it wasn't that big of a deal. And I sent what would become my favorite text message of all time to my wife. And that text message said, in very simple English, it just said, "Going blind." And that was it. From there, I went to way too many doctors and traveled all over the US, Miami, Atlanta, St. Louis, searching for a way out of going blind. And if you could do me one favor, I might ask a couple more, but do me one quick one. And at this point, just close your eyes and think of all of the things that you have learned in your life up to this point. You've learned how to read, you've learned how to write, tell time, drive a car, navigate the streets, walk on the sidewalks, read the signs, all that great stuff. Now, keep your eyes closed forever. And try not to panic. That was extremely difficult for me. And it took a lot of work. And it took a lot of convincing myself until I realized that all of that stuff that I had learned wasn't really gone. It was just a little different. And that not much had really changed. I just needed to make a few small adjustments, some changes. And one of those changes was figuring out how to get around. Because, man, I've still got a driver's license in my pocket that is good until 2022 if no one, if you can all keep a secret. So I've got that in there, and as tempting as it is to use it, it's a little bit safer to use other modes of transportation. And for me, that meant picking up a cane and learning how to use that. And I did that pretty early on in my vision loss. I grabbed a hold of a cane that I ordered online, wasn't the right size, wasn't the right style, had no idea what I was doing. And most of the people behind me would probably laugh at the way I was using it, but it got the job done. And I eventually got some proper training and actually started getting around all right. And at that point, I decided I wanted some different tools for mobility, which meant getting a guide dog. And I spoke to several people about where to go, and everyone had their, their pick, their recommendation, but the name that kept coming up was Guiding Eyes. And spoke to one person in particular who's on her second dog from here. And the way she talked about this place made it seem like, the third Disney World, Disneyland location, just with dogs. So I went ahead and applied, and here I am. I got here not really knowing what to expect. I was definitely nervous, definitely afraid, and I'm sure all of the first timers were all afraid. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know what this was going to be. And once the instructors took us out on our first walk, even without a dog, the Juno walk, holding onto the harness with no dog on the other end, just an instructor. It was a completely new sense of freedom, a new way to travel through the world, and going from waiting on the wrong level at LaGuardia for my ride here to meeting Frisco and realizing all the freedom he's going to give me. He won't read which level I'm on, but he'll certainly help me get around. And for me, an important thing along this journey has been realizing that not much has really changed in terms of getting around. And this journey and these last 3 weeks have been difficult, but it's worth it. And as soon as I found out that I was going to be in the March class, I was excited to get started. And Frisco and I are excited to start over and over again. Now, do you all still have your eyes closed? Good luck driving home. Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce Bethany Reinhardt, Regional Manager, Puppy Program, for the presentation of photos and certificates to the puppy raisers.
Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the Guiding Eyes for the Blind Canine Development Center, I would like to extend our sincere and heartfelt congratulations to the March 2018 graduating class. I'd like to thank our team of over 1,400 dedicated volunteers, our generous donors, and our dedicated staff who all play an important part of the journey of a Guiding Eyes puppy. From brood-stud foster families, home socializers, home litter care providers, early socializers, puppy sitters, regional coordinators, kennel and administrative volunteers both here in Yorktown and in Patterson, and last but not least, our puppy raisers, who I get the joy of working with every week and watch their puppies grow. I'm going to try not to get all emotional, especially because I'm here today for Jules and Loki and Gadget, and I got to watch them grow from little pups into very well-behaved, mature dogs, and now they're off to do great things. So, if you are a volunteer for Guiding Eyes, I would ask that you stand up so that we can give you a well-deserved round of applause. And now I would like to present to our puppy raisers what you are all dying to see, I'm sure, are your certificate and photo of the dog that you raised. I would like to ask that one member from each puppy raising family please come up to get their certificate and photo. And somebody's very excited for this. All right. So for Guiding Eyes Flynn, we have Miss Cora Ciarcia from the Delmarva region. She was... Sometimes our puppies have multiple raisers, so Guiding Eyes Flynn was also raised by Kathy Ann Burns from the Bay region. You can come get your photo. Yeah, you still get a photo. Guiding Eyes Frisco also had 2 raisers. His first raiser were Alfred and Diana Traegler from Capital, New York, and they are not here, but they are watching live on YouTube in Florida. Smart move being there. Also raising Guiding Eyes Frisco, Dan and Amy Mueller from Capital, New York. Guiding Eyes Gadget was raised by Daryl M. Gordon with Walter Lusberg in Lower Westchester, New York. Guiding Eyes Jimmy was raised by Megan Banfield in the Wayne County region. Jimmy was also raised by Paul and Cindy Swift in Wayne County, and I know that Cindy was not here today, but she is also our region coordinator, and Jimmy was her 30th puppy. Guiding Eyes Josie was raised by Carla Coelho from the Montgomery, Maryland region. She was not able to be here today. Patricia Noel also raised Guiding Eyes Josie in the Montgomery, Maryland region. She was also not able to be here today. Guiding Eyes Jules was raised by Marcy Gray in Westchester, New York. Guiding Eyes Loki was raised by Amy Sander in Westchester, and Amy is also one of our IAs. Guiding Eyes Newton was raised by Willow Parker in Northern Connecticut. Guiding Eyes O'Hara was raised by the Strait family in Finger Lakes, New York region. Guiding Eyes Patrol was raised by Connie J. Terry in Southern Tier, New York. And from our home training department, we have Guiding Eyes Inez, raised by Christina Struby in Maine. Zachary Richards in the New Hampshire region raised Guiding Eyes Kagan. He was not able to be here today. Guiding Eyes Pumpkin was raised by Joseph Gruber and Jackie Blunder in the Dominion, Virginia region. They were not able to be here today. And Guiding Eyes Ronnie was raised by Lee and Eric Nagel in the Cattaraugus, New York region. They were not able to be here today. All right, so the favorite part, I think like second favorite, is from small beginnings come great things. I would like to introduce to you, I believe all 3 are coming in. We have Gwen, Gio, and Camden. These little guys are where your dogs all started, and they are going to be available for autographs at the end of graduation. If you go out these doors to the left, you will hear them barking. I know that Camden is on his way to his raiser today, but Gio and Gwen are in need of puppy raisers, so if you guys want to raise, come see me. All right. And I'd like to end with a quote by Helen Keller. What we have once enjoyed, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Bethany. Again, heartfelt thank you to everyone who makes today possible. My colleagues at the Canine Development Center for bringing these tiny puppies into the world, our regional managers who help nurture them into adulthood, the kennel staff that cares for the dogs, the kitchen staff that feeds us, the nurses that take care of us. And to my instructors, Michelle, Catherine, Stephanie, Susan, thank you for a class filled with love, laughter, and a lot of coffee. I would also like to acknowledge our instructor assistant, Kim Hansen, who has been a remarkable young lady. And we are beyond lucky to have you. If you could stand up, please. Kim will be the one giving the kennel tour later on today, so remember that face. To the graduate teams that sit before us, you have all put forth a tremendous amount of effort and hard work. You have created new friendships with your classmates and made memories that will last a lifetime. From your first Rocky workouts a couple weeks ago to conquering Manhattan a few days ago. You all leave here tomorrow with newfound freedom and independence. You are part of our Guiding Eyes family, and we are here to support you in any way possible. Now to present you with your graduation certificates. Special needs graduate, Madalena Mancini, Guide Dog Inez. Austin Diepenhorst, Guide Dog Newton. Laura Ann Nino and Guide Dog Patrol. Mark Gross and Guide Dog Josie. Isabella Scott and Guide Dog O'Hara. Uzman Karoma and Guide Dog Gadget. Lyle Cole and Guide Dog Frisco. Georgie Sidner and Guide Dog Loki. Cecil Cox and Guide Dog Flynn. Alexandra Brown and Guide Dog Jimmy. Cicely Morales and Guide Dog Jules. Congratulations, everyone. Now to introduce our Chief Development Officer, Jennifer Podal.
Hello, friends. I know we just met, but I call you friends because whenever I'm with a group of people who are united in this very special mission, I know that I'm among friends. So thanks, everybody, for coming today. I get to thank our graduation sponsors. And first, you saw their messages on the screen and heard their messages on the screen earlier. So let me thank Cindy Sullivan and Bob Rollman, who are here today. They are fosters to proud dad today, Inget, who fathered both Jules and Josie, who are graduating today. So it's a big day for Inget and for Bob and Cindy. And they're puppy socializers and pathfinders too, so great supporters of Guiding Eyes, and we thank you so much. And our next graduation sponsor is our Cornell University Guiding Eyes Club. And Tom mentioned them earlier. We're so proud to have the partnership that we have with Cornell. And thanks for your sponsorship. They raise their sponsorship dollars with a fundraiser on campus. And as Tom said, they have raised 20 dogs. Amazing, amazing work on the part of the students. So thank you all very much. And speaking of fundraisers, I'm your Chief Development Officer, so I always talk about fundraising. Tom mentioned our great Wagathon that kicks off next month, and I hope that you'll join us. I put some flyers in the back, but you can easily go to guidingeyes.org/Wagathon and sign up. You earn great prizes along the way, as you saw on the video, and it's a great way to not just raise money for Guiding Eyes, but to spread awareness. And as we spread awareness, we get more volunteers, we get more puppy raisers, and our great work gets to continue and grow. So I hope you'll join us in the Wagathon, and we have our Guiding Eyes annual golf tournament that's coming up in June. I also put information about that out back, but you can also look on our website for that if any of you are golfers or if any of your companies are interested in sponsorship. Again, it's an important part of how we power our work, and we love for more people to participate. So, last details for the day. I know I can always identify puppy raisers in the crowd because you're the ones who are sitting through the whole ceremony like this, on the edge of your seats and leaning forward. So I just remind you, I know you're anxious to meet your dog's new handlers. So just give them a minute to get the dogs out of the harness to say hello. You can also go down the hall, students, and to chat with your puppy raisers. So that's one reminder. We have our lovely reception that I invite you all to join us for that's up in the dining room. So go down the hall, same direction you go to meet the puppies and get autographs, and go up the stairs for our reception. So you go down the hall, you turn right and go up the stairs for the reception. You turn left to meet the puppies. And then last thing, we will have a kennel tour, and Kim is going to do our tour. If you just stand up and wave one more time, because they have to look for you, by the glass doors also down at the left end of the hall. And what time will you be leaving on the tour? About 3 o'clock. So look for Kim at the doors if you want to go and see our kennel space and meet some more dogs. And thank you all so much for coming today. None of this great work happens without all of you. And we're so proud and thankful and happy for our graduates today too. So thanks everybody, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Excited people? I know I was like, don't come to me and then I'd be like, where's the jab? I'm waiting for the jab. I love our dogs.